and the boys. They seem to spend hours in completely useless activity. That combination of new lung power, changed voices, and boundless energy is hard on the neighbors. They quarrel a lot, but the gang sticks together. They want to prove their own importance by making themselves heard.
Hey, this is Jeff.
This is Seth. And this is Kendrick.
And you're listening to A Blast from the Past podcast. All right, guys, welcome back. This week's podcast. We have a pretty cool podcast for you today. We're actually going to be talking about
theme parks.
not just theme parks, but that small town theme park. Those not such a big theme parks. We're not going to be talking about Walt Disney World today. And we're not going to be talking about Universal Studios. We have a podcast specifically for those. Make sure you tune in for those. Those are going to be pretty awesome. Talking about all kinds of memories. Today, we've got a couple of our favorite theme parks that we as a family went to, and we want to share some of those details with you. So today, I've got myself, I got Kendrick, and we've also got Mr. Seth here. And let's start it off. So one of the first theme parks I'd like to talk a little bit about, if you're from Indiana or you know anything about Indiana, this little theme park is called Holiday World and Splash and Safari. They're in a little town called Santa Claus, Indiana. So let's go with Kendrick. Do you remember Santa Claus at all? Santa Claus, Indiana? What do you remember about that place?
There was this one place where you get frozen hot chocolates. That's the main thing I remember from that place. Because they had frozen hot chocolate, and then they also had a few other stuff. We got like candy and all that stuff too.
Yeah. So that was, do you remember the name of that?
No.
Do you remember it, Seth? Candy Castle.
Candy Castle.
Candy Castle. Not
too
far.
Okay, this is the thing though. Like when we think about it, we're thinking about Santa Claus. That's what we call
Yeah,
it. We call it Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Santa Claus. Yeah, it's only probably about 5 minutes from Holiday World and Splash and Safari. So it's literally right there in the same area. You could probably walk to it if you really wanted to challenge yourself. It's about 2 or 3 miles away. But that's also like when you go to Santa Claus, that's a must stop. Like you have to stop there, because if you don't, you just feel like you didn't have a complete vacation. Now I do remember us going to Santa Claus a couple times. It wasn't open.
Really?
Yeah. So that is actually recently, and I say recently in the last 6 years, has been completely reopened and kind of redone, and it's been revamped up. Before, it was closed for years. So that's kind of a big thing. So I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, so when you think about Holiday World and Splash and Safari, what comes to mind? Seth, we'll start with you. What do you think of when you think of Holiday World? Rides, etc.
Food.
So you think of food right offhand? You don't think of any rides? What was your favorite food at Holiday World?
The hot dogs and popcorn.
Hot dogs and popcorn. Kendrick, what was your favorite food at Holiday World?
Favorite food? I don't know. I don't really remember. Popcorn, probably.
Popcorn, yeah.
Popcorn.
You guys are big popcorn people.
I got one more. Funnel cake.
Funnel cake? They had funnel cake there?
Oh, my God.
Back in the day?
Yes. They had a chocolate, hot fudge.
Oh, I remember it now.
I think they had a strawberry one too.
Yeah, strawberry. And then they had, at the very end, the last time I went with all of his family, we had the Reese's funnel cake.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Oh, my God, that was good. Great.
The main thing I liked about it, though, is the free drinks and all that.
Yes, that's what's cool
That's
about
the main
Holiday
thing.
World. That's the only theme park that I know of that has absolutely free soft drinks, free sunscreen, and most importantly, free sunscreen. Most importantly, free parking. They don't charge you a dime for parking in a parking lot. When we go to the other theme parks, it's always at the minimum, probably $10, and some of them now are upwards of $50 to park.
How long have we not been to this place?
We have, the last time we went to Holiday World would have been about 5 years ago.
Yeah, 5 or 6.
We need to go back. They got free parking. They got free drinks.
I know, right? So maybe this summer we'll have to take a trip back there. We'll have to see if Indiana people want to meet us at Holiday World, Splash and Safari. Do you guys remember any rides particularly?
I remember. I don't remember the name, but I remember like just the ride in general, where it was going up and down. It's basically the Tower of Terror, or basically. I don't think there's anything else like Tower.
Like the kiddie version.
It's like a kiddie version of it. Like every place has it.
It's like a drop ride.
Yeah, but that was like my first time going on it, and that's what made me fall in love with those type of rides.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
I don't think Seth rode that one. Did you, Seth, ride that one?
Yeah, I did.
I think he's too scared.
He probably wouldn't ride it today.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm too big.
Yeah.
Even if
Suppose,
you
like,
could, it's if it's more than a 10-foot drop, he's like, yeah, no, I can't do it.
that's his excuse.
That's it. So Seth, do you remember what ride?
Yeah, I actually got two. One is the Legend, which sounds like a roller coaster. I really like that one.
Wooden coaster, man.
Yeah.
They're known for their wooden coasters.
And then another one was, I forgot what it's called. It's like in the American section, where you're like standing up and you're like laid back.
Oh
and start
yeah,
spinning.
I can't think of what was that. It was like
It's like something top or something like that. Spin top.
yeah, something like that. Yeah, I do remember. And it like tilts up all the way on its side, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, and the gravity pulls you back.
Mm-hmm.
I think I remember that one.
That was a sick ride. And you know, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that anywhere else. I think that's the only theme park that has something very similar to that.
Yeah.
Reminds you the Gravitron, which is an alien ship. It's a very similar concept, except for the alien ship one you lay on and it's on wheels. So yeah, you're laying on it like a pad with wheels, and so when it goes fast enough and it picks up speed, you start sliding up to the very top of the spaceship. It's pretty cool, and you can like go upside down and whatever. Pretty awesome. Okay, cool. Now the one ride I remember there's actually two big rides. Number one is the old timey cars.
Oh yeah,
I absolutely love the old timey cars. Even as a child, I remember barely being able to get on that ride with my parents. And every time we went, we always had to ride it. It was always right beside that little shop. I'd run in there, I'd get on that thing, and my dad or my brother, somebody would always have to ride with me.
Yeah.
And they'd have to hold the pedal down because the pedal was so damn hard. A child couldn't do it. It had to be an adult. So it was a pressure point like that. So I remember riding that all the time. That was my number one. My number two would have to be I would have to say the log ride.
The log, yeah.
The log flume ride, which is basically, it looks like a tree and coming down a stream of water, and it kind of goes through like a dark area, and then it kind of goes around a corner, and it goes up on a conveyor belt, pulls you all the way up to the top, and you have this massive drop with water shooting everywhere on the outside, and you always got wet.
Yeah.
That was always probably a fun ride too. Those two kind of bring me way back. So those two are the ones that I really, 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 really like the most. As far as food there, they had some of the best corn dogs.
Did they?
Oh yeah. And then another big one there is they always had turkey legs.
Did they?
Much smaller than what we're used to now, but they had turkey legs back in the Thanksgiving area. If you remember the Thanksgiving area, they always had. Do you remember the ship that goes up?
Oh yeah,
Like one of those arching ships.
Yeah, I
that
do
was pretty
remember
fun.
Yeah.
I think I wrote it with
Dawson.
one of our.
Dozens, yeah. That was actually pretty fun. I remember that was a good one. And then they also, if you remember, every year around Halloween, they always have like a fall version of kind of like the Holiday World stuff. They always have like a fall Halloween weekends kind of thing, and you can go and do all kinds of stuff. But one of the coolest things is they always had that. It's like the corn maze. Corn maze is awesome. You can go out there and you go through an entire old-fashioned corn maze, and we probably got lost 2 or 3 times going through that thing.
So I'm confused. Is it like it's like multiple different seasons of stuff?
So Holiday World itself, hence the name Holiday World. When you go into the sections, you have a 4th of July section. You have a Christmas section.
A 4th of July.
A 4th of July. That's
They
a
need a
holiday.
section for that.
Yes. We were just talking about the Freedom, whatever it was, the sparkler thing. And then you have, that's where the Screaming Eagle, or not the Screaming Eagle, but some kind of eagle ride that walked around. Remember the eagle head that you move around and it would go in the air?
No.
Oh yeah.
That was a sweet ride.
What?
But then you had a Halloween section, which would be
about
like the Raven,
Yeah, I remember.
the
Raven.
Legend. So that Halloween. Then you had a Christmas section, which was pretty much like more like the kiddie rides, stuff like that.
Getting
And
flashbacks.
then in the back, yeah, right. That's good. That's what this podcast is all about. It's taking you way back.
Swear there was a turkey ride.
Yes, there's a turkey gobbler. Is what
Yeah.
it's called, and it's kind of like a shooting game. You sit inside with a virtual shooting game, and you shoot all the little turkeys and get points.
Swear people were getting mad with us when we were going there. Somebody got mad that they couldn't ride it. That was like the main thing in my head.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because I know you have to be a certain height to ride that, and I know.
Might
It's
have been
one of
me.
those rides and it's a newer ride. That's actually probably one of the newer rides. So when we grew up, that whole section back there was not even there. a really cool part about Holiday World is their water park.
Yeah.
Remember the name of the water park was Splash and Safari, right? And it's a seasonal park. Like obviously it's going to have to only be warm outside in Indiana. It's not like Florida where all year long it's warm enough to go swimming. So with Holiday World, you would go in and it wouldn't cost any extra. So there's no extra fees to it. Now, not only do you got the free parking, you got the free soft drinks, you got the free sunscreen, which you definitely needed in summer of Indiana. Because I'm telling you right now, you get burned like crazy.
Yeah.
That was cool, but you got in for free. It doesn't cost any extra. So that one ticket into the park gets you into both the water park and the regular park.
I said this place is sounding more and more amazing the more I hear it. It's
all right.
free to do the water park too.
Yes. Well,
And
it's
it's free
included.
to get
not
drinks?
really free, but it's included. Like it's part of it.
It's not free.
Well, I mean, you're paying, I think it was like 60, 70, I want to say 60 or 70 bucks to get in for one.
Is there ever a park where you just walk in and you just pay for the rides?
You know, there actually is.
There is.
Yes, there is. And we'll talk about that in a minute.
Because when you watch movies, that's like all you see. It's
Right.
like rides.
It's almost
that you
like
have to
a
pay for.
carnival style where you get tickets to ride.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute as well. But Splash and Safari, one of the things I liked about Splash and Safari was everywhere you walked, you heard the Beach Boys. Like everywhere you were, you'd be walking, it's like Rhonda, run, run, Rhonda, and then you would hear Surfer Girl, and just awesome Beach Boys songs, which always got you in the mood for summer, right? And then as far as the rides go, do you guys remember the slides at all?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember this.
What's your favorite slide there, or kind of describe what it was?
I mean, it's very basic, right? I mean, every other place has a slide, but the one that we like the most is probably the open one where it's just, you just go straight down into water. There was nothing else to it. I think there was like a little up end on the part, so you go up in the air a little bit, then you go in the water.
So you get a little air,
Yeah.
you get a little air, then come straight down.
We were doing that with our cousins and stuff.
The one I like most is the one where you're in like a little tube thing and it puts you down.
I didn't
And
do
you
that
go
one.
into a big tube, start moving around, and they get into a big circle.
Right, like a big ass toilet.
Yeah, and you're like, you go,
Yeah, I do remember
keep
that.
going through, and then
And
drop
you
right
get
down the
flushed
hole.
right down the middle of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
feel
do
like-
remember that.
I feel like most theme parks have that, so it's just mixed in my
kinda.
mind at this point.
Yeah. A lot of them do. And then I remember the Jungle Racers. That's the one where you're at the top and you have like a little like rubber sleigh looking thing that you lay on with your belly,
Yeah.
and you just go
That's the
down.
one
and
I
you
was
have to
talking
race.
about.
Yeah, that just fucks you up. So
Yeah, that fucked my arms up
Yeah, I
bad.
remember you getting like all kind of damage and shit to that one.
That was too big for my
We had to
arms.
go
Too
to
big.
first
I started
aid.
like going down,
Go to first
moving
aid
it.
and
I moved
get
my
it all
arm,
bandaged up and
scraped
cried.
it. I was like,
Cried
oh.
like a baby, and that was only a couple years ago.
We're going to go on to our second theme park or something?
Yes. Let's talk about it. So, what when you think of small city
city.
theme parks, what do you think of?
Fun spot.
Fun Spot.
Okay. So, what do you remember about Fun Spot?
I remember them having like a lot of games and stuff.
Do we play them?
We played a little
we
bit,
played a
not a
little
whole awful lot,
I
but,
know we played a little because we went during the nighttime, so there wasn't
Yeah.
as much stuff open.
Right. And that's what you were saying a while ago. You were talking about a place where you could go and just ride a particular ride with a ticket, and it's called Fun Spot. So, Fun Spot,
yeah.
you can do individual rides, or you can do a bracelet. So
We
you
did a
ride-
bracelet, didn't we?
Yes, we got a bracelet because we had a hell of a deal. It was an after 10 o'clock at night. It was on a Friday night. We were staying in town. I think we stayed at a local hotel. And we're like, hey, let's go do something fun. And then, Sam had said, hey, I think there's Fun Spot's got some kind of deal after 10 p.m. And they're only open till like 1. So we're like, okay, that's 2 or 3 hours. So we went, and I think we got you guys both a bracelet. And you guys went to town. Like you
I
rode
mean,
about
we did ride a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
in that 2.5 hour span. I think you rode about, I'd say probably 4 or 5 golf carts. Didn't you do?
Yeah.
Go-karts, yeah.
Go-karts.
Those are the best
yeah,
part.
go-karts.
Only
Yeah,
good
you were
part.
on those for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Only good
How
part.
was that? How
I
was
mean,
that?
it was fun. Dude, I was the best. I beat everybody in the race multiple times. Then this one grown dude that was like freaking 20 just came up and started beating me, and I was real pissed about that. But
Wow.
other than that, it was pretty fun.
It felt like Mario Kart in real life for me.
Yeah, like a real
I
life
kept
Mario
cutting the
Kart.
corners, bro, slightly, and so I can get more speed, gain over somebody.
Now, today, if we would go, would you have the same experience?
If I had friends, probably.
I mean, I'm probably too big now.
Since we went the first time, when we went the first time, it was our first time being there, so it was fun to experience it for the
Yeah.
first time.
Yeah.
That was over 5 years ago. by the
Yeah.
way. That was well before 2020.
Now I feel like if you have friends and you go there and they have never done it before, it'd be more fun because you can see what their experience is like and you can beat them in go-karts. So
How do you think your driving would be today?
better. I mean, Sub's a pro at Mario Kart, and he is not that good.
Oh, you're a pro at Mario Kart?
That's what he'd say.
I
every
am
time.
number one. Every single one.
Self-proclaimed pro at Mario
Every
Kart.
single race I have, I'm number one.
Self-proclaimed.
Wow.
Against AI and also real people.
Really?
Yes.
Of course, you win against AI, brother. AI.
Yeah, probably on
Yeah, it's
easy.
just computers easy, but people are hard.
All right. Well, yeah. So, and I remember they also have, what's cool about Fun Spot is they have a bunch of different kinds of rides. It's not just it's not just go-karts, but they also had a section for roller coasters, right? They had a steel coaster.
I don't think we rode that much.
I think you did the steel coaster, but you didn't do the wooden one. And I remember you riding
I don't trust the wooden ones, bro.
Yeah, you rode something that put you upside down, and it freaked me out watching you.
I think I was going to puke. I think I
you were like
feeling
getting sick riding it. Yeah. And then I think I think you rode a couple of other rides over there that was.
I mean, they
spinning
were
around.
pretty basic compared to the
but
go-karts.
it's cool.
The go-karts are the best part.
'Cause I can't remember how much the tickets. Like if you was to buy just like a row of tickets to go ride a ride, I don't think it's that expensive.
I don't know. There was not a lot of people there since it was so dark.
Yeah, it was late. It was probably 10:30 at night when we were in there. So.
From a video I saw, there's like an alligator section that we didn't go to.
Right. Yeah, there was a section. There was a lot of sections that weren't even open at the time.
True.
'Cause,
There's like no food or
they're not gonna have
anything.
alligator. Yeah, they had a little. They had like Dippin' Dots.
That's the only
Dude,
thing
they got
had.
Dippin' Dots at every theme park across the nation.
Dippin' Dots is the theme park ice
Dippin'
cream.
Dots are the shit when it comes to theme parks.
It's so hot.
Can you imagine being so good that every theme park gets you?
That's pretty. And actually, if you think about it, every sporting event, like if you go to, like I went to WrestleMania, I got Dippin' Dots. I went to a wrestling a Raw show, Dippin' Dots.
Favorite flavor?
Of Dippin' Dots?
Yes.
Banana Split, hands down.
I'd say Oreo is mine.
Rainbow.
Rainbow's pretty good. Never mind.
No, Banana Split, hands down. And if they don't have Banana Split, straight chocolate. Those are my two best.
I've had them all basically, but Rainbow's probably the best. I mean, it's.
Those are the most expensive ice creams you could ever have too.
I mean, they're all at theme parks for a reason,
right? Yeah, because it's like, and it's just, and you would think if you got it somewhere else other than the theme park, it'd be cheaper.
Nope.
It's the same. You go to a gas station, and it still costs you $6 for the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
I swear it's made for theme parks and they just outsource from there.
Maybe. Yeah, so I mean, Fun Spot's a cool spot to go. Definitely if you're in Florida and you're Central Florida and you're doing, another theme park or something during the day, or you just chilling for a couple hours in the evening. That's also awesome date night if you want to take your significant other to,
I don't know if my significant other took me to Fun Spot instead of any other place, and I'd be a little iffy on it.
No, I think it'd be cool.
It'd be cool if it was.
You could race them. Like, listen, golf carts, go-karts.
What if they're not into that though?
Well, I don't know.
Okay.
At that point, I don't know. I guess you just
talk about
drop their ass and find somebody who is.
Let's talk about a slightly more entertaining theme park, SeaWorld.
SeaWorld is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's probably in my top. I would say it's in my top 5.
Top
so
5?
far. Yeah, for sure.
What's your top 5?
Well, I mean, if you want to say my first one's obviously going to be Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
And we'll have a whole episode on Walt Disney World. That's going to be exciting. And then number 2, I'd actually have to say Universal.
I mean, they're
In
like the
Orlando.
closest thing.
Very specific. In Orlando.
Yeah.
And then my third, I would actually have to, honestly, I'd have to say Holiday World's my third favorite.
Yeah.
Holiday World and Splash Safari was my third. And then fourth, I would have to say probably my fourth favorite would be probably Six Flags St. Louis. That was actually really, really cool. And Seth was very young. Kendrick, he never went to that one, but
Nope.
definitely need to go and check that out. But
Seen ads.
yeah, no, it's a cool one. It's a great place. But then, 5 to round off my 5, it'd have to be SeaWorld be my number 5,
I see.
most likely. But yeah, I mean, you can't really beat number 1. Number 1 that's just awesome. And there's so many variations in different countries and all that, so can't really go wrong with that. But I mean, SeaWorld, what do you think about SeaWorld? Seth, when you think of SeaWorld, the very first time you went, what comes to mind?
Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Dolphins?
Yeah.
Very basic answer, sir.
Right, it is very basic.
I'd say mine is my first thing I think about is ice cream.
Ice cream?
Ice cream.
SeaWorld ice cream. Why?
It's like
why?
the main thing I remember from you being like, I want ice cream. You know, I want ice cream. That's
I
the
do
whole
like.
thing.
I love me some ice cream no matter where I'm at, but specifically when I'm at a theme park, I challenge ice cream no matter where I'm at. Now, hands down, Disney has the best ice cream, but SeaWorld was pretty good,
True.
and they have Dippin' Dots.
Yeah.
They do.
They have Dippin' Dots every damn corner, so that was pretty good. I mean, I like SeaWorld. One of the big things I liked about SeaWorld is going to be the Killer Whale show. That I've probably seen once or twice. It stayed the same. I didn't really get to see any variations because we only had passes for those 2 years, so I didn't really get to see much of a variation. The dolphin show, however, we did see a couple of variations of that. I think I've seen 2 or 3 different ones. So that show is pretty cool too. And then even their, the holiday show, so the Christmas. What do you think about their Christmas showcase? SeaWorld does a really good Christmas showcase.
Just don't remember.
Yeah, I do.
Was that the one with like the weird Sea Dog High or something like that?
Yeah,
The only thing I remember.
about the high school, the sea lion.
Sea Lions, yeah.
Yeah, that's SeaWorld. Yeah, SeaWorld had it, and it was always like a little pre-show right before it and stuff. No, that was a cool one too. And the sea lion area is actually really cool in SeaWorld.
Yeah.
And then, do you remember the Arctic area?
Yes,
The
that's
Penguins, yeah.
You
Oh my
walk in-
God.
It could be 100 degrees outside, and that's the first damn place I'm heading.
Yep.
I remember eating Chinese food after we saw the penguins with everybody.
Yeah.
We got pictures from there too.
Yeah,
From that.
right across from it, I think it was called the Antarctic, some kind of sea lion landing or something like that, or something over there.
Yep. It was a ride, and then we had to go on it, and then we got to the penguins and ate.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
Main thing I remember from Christmas is just a lot of lights.
They
all I remember.
they got really. If you remember the lake is covered with Christmas trees that lit up, and they always had like little shows, and the lights would go off and on. And then they had an ice skating show. Do you remember the ice skating show?
Man,
Yeah.
Remember the ice skating show?
I only remember the one we went to that one time. I don't even think it was an ice skating show, but it was like a show. That's like the only show I remember.
And do you remember the puppet version of the? Okay, so at Christmas time, SeaWorld always has like a religious section, and they always have a show that is pretty much the birth of Christ.
But it's Muppets.
Yes, and I didn't know that when I got it. And I'm like thinking, oh, this is going to be a beautiful show. I can't wait. I'm being told, I'm being prepped for this show. My girl was like, hey, this is going to be awesome. You're going to like this. I read that there's live animals in it. I'm like, oh, wow, cool. Is it going to be a live nativity? That's awesome. I'm excited. Real camels and shit. I mean, we're at SeaWorld, so it's going to be cool. So we get in there, and within the first 2 minutes, dude comes out with puppets. I'm like, wait a minute. What is he doing? And then, it's not a cool puppet show where somebody's hiding behind. You don't see the hands. No, these guys are just walking around with their hands up the puppet's ass. And to me, I'm like, that's not the kind of show I want to be watching right now. I thought this was, and yes, they did have real animals. There was one camel.
One
camel, and I think there was a bird.
Oh, let's go.
And that's pretty much it. That's the only thing. That was a live nativity in their eyes. I'm like, okay. And then, of course, they had some real people, and then some of them are all, you got puppets, and you got Muppets and puppets and people, and it was just, I don't know. It was a weird.
Did we watch this with you?
I want to say you
I
did, but
swear
maybe
we did not watch
Maybe
it.
not. Maybe I was like, I'm going to watch this because the kids.
You probably watched it
going.
after and was like, we're not bringing the kids to this.
It could have very possibly been. It definitely wasn't a Sesame Street. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It would have been more fun with Bert and Ernie in there, but it wasn't that way.
maybe.
I would have probably been okay with it then, but I was not prepared for that. So, I mean, yeah. So SeaWorld, okay. So another big part of SeaWorld is the coasters. Do you remember the roller coasters?
See, we didn't ride a lot of roller coasters when we were there. I don't know why. I think mainly what we did was there's a lot of zoo stuff, right? Like a lot of animals.
Yeah,
and
so
all
you
that.
go through like the shark. There's a shark exhibit, and then there's the penguin exhibit, obviously.
Yeah.
And then there's a whole area for turtles. If you remember the turtle show where you walked in and sit in the middle of the big, it's almost like a roundabout and it's 3D, images all the way around you, like a big TV screen.
Oh,
and
yeah, I remember
you were the
this.
turtle, and you went through the ocean.
Oh yeah.
Like you fall, and if you got dizzy as hell, like
That
I
was
sometimes I
honestly-
get dizzy, so I'm like,
Well, you got dizzy, but
sometimes,
honestly,
yeah. I'm like, shit,
it
I'm a
was
turtle, I'm a turtle, and I'm like going around. I'm like, oh shit,
that was like one of the only good things there.
that was
I'm not
really
gonna lie.
cool.
I liked
I think
it.
it was called Turtle Track, if I remember right.
Considering
That's a really cool one.
we both remember it, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously the Sea Lion High. That's a whole show. And then do you remember throwing the little fishes to the sea lions?
Yeah, I remember that.
Them damn birds.
What are
Yeah.
sea lions?
Sea lions?
Are they just?
Yeah, they're
are
one
they
of
just the?
they're one that's
freaking-
like. Every time
I don't remember feeding
Damn,
those
them
things.
are awesome sound effects, man. That sound like a real one.
Dude, I do not remember feeding those things.
Oh yeah, we did. We tried.
We
So
tried.
we throw the fish, and in midair, a freaking bird would come swoop down and grab the fish in midair,
Yeah.
as if it was a trick. And the damn sea lion's like, really, right now?
Okay, yeah.
Wait, that bird gets closer. I guarantee you, those sea lions fight them damn birds all the time.
Yeah.
But no, I think that was pretty cool. Part of that, the shark exhibit is pretty cool. Walking through like the tunnel, I think that was kind of cool. Seeing that whole tunnel and all of that. I remember areas on that exhibit for the sharks. Remember how the glass was scratched? We're like, oh, this shark attacked this little section. It's like a little scratch. It's like some kid just grabbed something, made a scratch. Like, oh, this happened in 1997. But it was shark attacks area, and then the stingrays. You remember the stingrays?
Yes.
Oh, I remember the stingrays. Yeah.
And you could pet them and
Yeah.
feed them.
Yeah. I think I did a little bit.
Yeah.
I fed them too.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that was fun. And you put it in your hand, and it would like come up on your hand, and
I think we did this with relatives.
yeah, it was a cool experience. So SeaWorld's definitely got some plus. It's got some advantages, but like you said, it's almost kind of like a zoo almost. Kind of gives you that interactive zoo feel.
It just
I
didn't
don't
feel
think
like
it's-
riding as much. But the only
I think they
roller
have-
coaster I rode was freaking the VR one.
right, which they don't even have anymore.
I don't even have anymore.
I mean, the coaster's still there, but the VR experience is gone. I don't know why they discontinued that, but I think they have a total at this time, and we're talking, it's been a couple years. We need to go again. But the last time we went, they only had probably 4 coasters and 3 regular rides.
Yeah.
And they had
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 shows. So it's not a huge park. I mean, you could probably go and spend a whole day there. Oh, and the observatory, like where you go up in the air. Remember when you go up in a little spinny thing and you look at the whole park all the way around? It's like a needle.
Did we do
And then
that?
yeah, we did that a couple times. And
It
you would come
reminds me
down.
of Disney Springs, where they have that orb thing.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So I mean, I think it's no, yeah. I mean, if I had to pick SeaWorld, like it's my number 5, but I really like SeaWorld. SeaWorld's kind of cool. Kind of has a different experience altogether.
What are we talking about?
Let's finish it all out about one other park.
What other park?
The sister park of SeaWorld, Busch Gardens, Tampa, Florida. What do you remember about Busch Gardens?
The only thing I remember is it, first time I had a pimple. That's what I remember from that park.
Adolescence, goddammit.
Dude, I remember you took a picture and I had a pimple. I was like, oh my God.
Like, what is that, Dad? What is that?
First time
know?
seeing that, huh?
No, I remember you were all about Pokemon.
Yeah, I had. You took a picture with the Pokeball.
Yeah,
That's
you had
the
a
photo I'm
Pokeball.
talking about.
You won a Pokeball at one of them because you always conned me into playing. Hey, Dad, let's play this $10 game.
That was like my first time ever playing a game like that, and I won.
You say that every time,
And I won.
all right?
Was it the water game?
I think so. Yeah, that's
That's
when
like
they
the
always
only one
con you
that's
into,
fun.
"Come, step right up. You can win this Pokeball," and you were like Pokemon, and then you got it.
Yeah.
Now, yeah. So I mean, that was a cool experience being there, but I don't know if I would rate that park in my top 10.
I don't remember any of the rides.
And there was a cheetah ride. If you remember the cheetah coaster,
No.
No,
yeah. See,
I don't think we rode it.
trash.
probably not.
Probably
And then
not.
I
I've seen a lot
remember
of llamas.
the one ride that we did train. I remember the train ride.
I remember the train. Yeah.
That was kind of cool. That experience was kind of different where you got on the train and it brought you to, do you remember seeing that gigantic tortoise?
Yeah.
Yes,
One that
that's-
lived
I
for
do
a long
remember that.
time.
Yeah, it was like 100+ years or something like
Yeah.
that.
Thing's
I do
probably
remember
still
seeing-
alive.
Yeah, probably still. But that I remember seeing. And then I remember we were wanting to watch, they had an ice skating show. We couldn't get in.
Why does
I
every
remember-
place have an ice skating show?
well, it's a SeaWorld. SeaWorld and Busch Gardens are the only 2 places that has ice skating.
Disney World has ice skating.
Disney World ain't got ice skating.
They got like
Not
multiple
the
Disney
not
shows.
the parks, but
not
Oh,
an
yeah.
ice skate. Well,
Second
Disney
one.
on ice. That's a whole
Yeah.
different
Universal, Shrek on ice.
what?
thing.
That's not on. That's not at Universal.
That's
Just
a
like
universal
Disney on
thing, though.
Ice.
That's not what we're talking about. We're
Universal
talking about
thing.
an actual park that actually has an ice skating there as a show.
Yeah.
That's a very generic way to entertain your guests. I'm just saying, SeaWorld, Busch Gardens, you guys could do better. Take out the ice skating. And maybe, if you guys love ice skating out there, that's great. But for me, not for a theme park.
We gotta be fair. Not a lot of people see ice. Not a lot of people see stuff like that. You can't do that as much.
Yeah, but you can go to an ice show at your local Disney on Ice, your Shrek on Ice, et cetera, et cetera. It's the same
Shrek on ice,
concept.
the best.
No, I don't know about all that. Disney Cars on Ice, that was pretty cool.
We saw that.
Yeah. Well,
Cars on
you were-
ice?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
How
it
do they
was-
do that?
I don't know. They're magic. It's Disney. They can do whatever the hell they want.
Some guy dressed up as Lightning McQueen, but he's just a human. He's just a human Lightning McQueen. That would be so stupid.
But I mean, yeah. So, is there anything else you can remember about Busch Gardens?
No. A very basic place. It's like the secondary version of. I think SeaWorld bought Busch Gardens, right, or something like that.
So, Busch Gardens, yeah. I mean, Busch Gardens was already there, and I think they all came together. And I think actually SeaWorld Enterprise, or I think it's what SeaWorld something, has a total of 11 parks now.
What else they got?
So SeaWorld, actually, there's a SeaWorld in Orlando. There's a SeaWorld in Texas.
They own a SeaWorld in Texas.
And there's a SeaWorld in California. And I think there is a SeaWorld or something similar to that in the Carolinas.
Is there another Busch Gardens?
No. Or maybe that's what the other one was. And then they also own Sesame Street, right? And there's a place up north in Pennsylvania called Hershey's, Pennsylvania. Seth
Oh, I've
might
been
know
there.
that.
Yeah.
So Hershey's, Pennsylvania also has ownership in the SeaWorld
Oh,
estate
yeah.
stuff. So Hershey's Park is part of that in Hershey, Pennsylvania. And you've also got Sesame Place, which is also a place up there in the Pennsylvania area, I believe, that also is owned by SeaWorld. So SeaWorld's got a I mean, they've got a lot of different places. You can even buy a pass that allows you to go to all of those parks for one price.
Did you do work in Pennsylvania or something? Just working?
Yeah, I was with my grandma at the time. We were going to Pennsylvania for a trip, and she was like, "Hey, I can pay you for me." And I was like, "All right, cool, let's do this." And we went there, met some family on her side, and after that, we went to Hersheyland, got some candy. I got my Reese's shirt that I really love. And I'm
Yeah,
still
you wear
wearing
that
today.
Reese's shirt all the damn time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really
One of his
I
favorite
love it.
shirts.
You got that
I'm
from
fat,
there?
so I love candy.
Yeah, that's where you
Dude, I
got it from.
swear to God, Dad bought you that. I'm
No,
tripping.
No,
I got it from
he brought it
Hershey
there.
Land.
No.
And I got,
They brought candy back and everything. So
I think
yeah.
I got you or Mom something like a weird trinket thing.
Oh yeah, Mom's got that in her room.
Yeah, I forgot what it was.
Like a keychain or something.
Yeah, like a keychain.
Bro.
But yeah, no, I
Um,
mean that. No, I have not been there yet. I would love to do that. I'm definitely going to try to do
It's
that.
beautiful.
It's
Yeah.
probably better to just go to Vegas.
Vegas was cool, and
Yeah,
that'll be
Vegas
a
was
whole other episode. We'll be
Yeah.
talking about Las Vegas, which we just had a family 4-pack of fun there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'd be a good one. So maybe we'll talk about it in our next podcast. So make sure you tune in next time. We'll be talking about Las Vegas, and Seth turned 21, Kendrick turned 18. Wow, what? Well, we can't talk about everything we do in Vegas because what happens in Vegas?
Stays in Vegas.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week on our podcast. Again, you're listening to a Blast from the Past podcast, and I'm your host, Jeff. I hope you've enjoyed this week's episode of A Blast from the Past podcast, brought to you by Decades Music and Entertainment.
New episodes dropping every Thursday.
Yeah!